Welcome back to What Arty Noobs. This is the SU-100M1. It's a Tier 7 Soviet tank destroyer. It's located on the south spawn of Erlenberg and it's under the command of Deathnub. Well, this tank destroyer is armed with a 100mm gun capable of 250 alpha, penetrating 212mm with standard ammo, and with the premium ammo 258mm, so quite a good amount of penetration at tier 7. With the HE rounds it will do 330 alpha and still penetrate 50mm of armour, so if he ever comes across any weakly armoured vehicles he could do considerable damage to them. Now this tank destroyer is based on a T-34-85 built in 1944. It was a stage in the design between the SU-100 and the SU-101, and that's why it fits in at tier 7, because the SU-100 is tier 6 and the SU-101 is tier 8. Now you can see the turret, or the crew compartment, is at the rear of the vehicle, which means they've got a huge lump of metal, the engine, between them and the enemy. But what you can probably also see is the driver is the only member of the crew who's up front. You see the driver hatch right at the front of the vehicle, so the driver is actually quite vulnerable, but not the rest of the crew. T-52 making a good scouting run. That was a little late, but I think we can excuse that because it's early in the game. Deathnub is a recent member of What Arty Noobs. He joined the group, I think after he saw some of the replays and thought, ooh, very useful. He's actually providing us with some great replays. So we get to see his gameplay on not just tanks, but also Arty. You'd be surprised actually. A lot of players think, oh, Arty players, they're no good at tanks. They only play Arty because they can't play tanks. Not so. A lot of Arty players play tanks very, very well indeed. In fact, some play better on tanks than they do on Arty. I know, surprising, but true. In fact, I can think of two players straight off the mark, Baseman from Hell and also Captain Ashstorm, and both of them are expert tank players as well. Okay, he's decided to take the lead in front of the, is that a Leo behind him? Yes, it is. He was spotted, so he needs to get into cover. Then we get an early wipeout, but his team are way ahead of him. In fact, they're up the centre line already. He's got no shot on the IKV because he's on the other side of that ridgeline. There are enemy across the river. If he goes past this point, they might see him and they might decide to put some shells into him. So he needs to clear this area first, just to make sure he doesn't get hit. Puts around into the rear of the 87, that stops him dead in his tracks, and oh, he pulls back because he doesn't like that. 100mm round can do a lot of damage, and he's just found a KV2. He's not looking this way, but he will look this way any second. So wondering where those shells are coming from. He hit the gun mantlet there, and he did it again. He's actually hitting the gun mantlet, which is heavy armour. He needs to be careful because he might get hit by a large 152mm round if he stays here too long. And yes, he is in the bush, but that KV2 might spot him. And that's an ARL-44. If I remember correctly, that's a tier 6 French heavy. Oh, he tracks the Jagdpanther. It didn't scratch him, but it certainly knocked his tracks off. And he did it again, so this guy's not going anywhere. Oh, and he's got some damage assist. And he gets the kill shot out of that as well. So good play there. Yeah, always look to see if your friends can help you knock some damage into the enemy and thereby give you a bit of extra XP simply by virtue of you tracking the enemy and allowing your friends to do some damage. Okay, he's decided to pull back because that ARL-44 has just crossed the river, and I think he can do some damage on these guys. The Leo's just desperately trying to get away. I wonder if that AT7 will try to chase him. He's coming this way. Now this is where the penetration will really come into it, and he might have to load the premium rounds to make it count. Remember, Cupola. Go for the Cupola. It's the easy route. Yes! Gets a pen. Blocks the shot from the AT7. He's angling slightly, which helps a great deal. The AT7 didn't like that, so he's actually pulling back. There's a Black Prince coming across the river right now, and he's just behind that house. Just coming out of the water. So it might be a good idea for Deathnub to relocate. Needs to have the house beside him to the left. He hit the armor there and blocked a shot with his tracks. Now, is he going to try and take this Black Prince on? Yes, I think he is. Lower plate. Yep, that one goes in and he gets a nice shot. And the Arty comes in to help him. And now he can just punch through the armor inside, and that's a kill shot. Beautifully done. Okay, enemy KV-13. Those things are quite deadly because they can have an HE gun and they're very fast. They're almost like the Soviet version of the VK-2801-105 because they've got a dirt gun that literally comes up behind you and blasts you with a 122mm round and ruins your day. Not great, but in fact actually it's a tank that a lot of players don't even know about. Okay, he's going to try and get behind that AT7. If the Leo keeps his attention, he'll be able to just cross the river and turn. Oh, he finds the T-3485 coming towards him. He needs to get rid of this guy. Nice shot. Good kill. So he's now up to 3 kills, Deathnub. He's having a good game. Unfortunately, the AT7 has been chasing the Leo round the rubble, and he's ended up on the wrong side there, but I'm not sure if the AT7 realises that Deathnub's here. He might realise it, but Deathnub's going to go in anyway and shoot him. Go for the Cupola. Oh, he didn't need to. He just went straight through the armour anyway. Now, somebody did fire into this square because I did see a round actually land in front of him a short while ago. Let's remove some spare scrap. Yeah, he's going to try and push his friend into the river. Well, he won't mind. He's already dead. Standard reload, 6.81 second. Deathnub's got 5.84, so he's got a nice reduction there. You can see that he's actually got the third what's the word? Consumable unstocked. So he could have a tank, a fire extinguisher, or a premium consumable such as food, but he's not running it on this tank. So I think he might be missing out there. You have to consider with a vehicle that's got its engine up front that it's actually in more danger of getting an engine fire because the shell is going to go straight through the front of the vehicle and hit the engine, and if that does catch fire, then obviously you've got a problem. On the tanks where the engine is at the rear of the vehicle, it's less chance of being hit in the engine, unless of course somebody's able to shoot you inside. Well, there's only 2 enemies left, that KV-13 we saw earlier and a KV-2. But the KV-2s have crossed the river as far as we know, and the KV-13 last seen... Oh, there's the KV-2. Been spotted. KV-13 is probably ahead of us, directly ahead of us. It was last seen going to the east in the tree line. He's probably waiting for us to pop out so he can start pumping a few rounds into us, and woe betide us if he does have the 122mm gun, because he could do some serious damage to us, even at long range. With only 2 enemies left on the table, he's not going to be able to get anything more than a top gun if he's able to get both of these kills. It certainly would be nice to get both. He has done better than everyone else on his team so far for getting 4 kills. And he does also have 1,806 hit points, which is a pretty tidy sum, especially when you consider he also did 1,472 assists. Now he's being very, very cautious. The KV-13's been spotted. There he is. He's got a shot. Yes! Oh, he got a fire! And he did get the kill, and he got an arsonist there because he set light to the guy, and the guy died in the fire. The KV-2 is only a short distance away. He could still get a top gun. He's got 679 hit points, which means that it would take a couple of shots to kill. There's one. Now, can he get him with the next round? If he can, this will be it. Yes, he does pump around him, but he doesn't get the hill. But he might with the next shot. And that's a winning shot. And potentially a high caliber too. Well done. Someone was saying to me just the other day that they love my videos because I'm always very enthusiastic in them. Well, with good reason. When you see a good replay and you're having fun, you can almost imagine yourself playing it, and well, you're egging the person on to get the win. And of course, it is the first time that I've seen the replay, because I don't ever watch the replay beforehand if I can help it, because I want to give you a genuine reaction from somebody who enjoys watching a good battle. That was a first-class tanker for Deathnub in the SU-100M1. He was only a short distance, a really short distance from getting an ace tanker out of this game. But the first class is the first time he's had a first class, because you can see he's got the scrolls underneath. So the next time he takes it out, he might actually get an ace tanker. He did get a Reaper badge out of that because he got 3 enemy tanks in a row, as well as a sharpshooter for getting 10 or more consecutive shots on the enemy, an arsonist for setting light to that KV-13 and getting him out of the game, as well as a shellproof for blocking the damage, more damage than the hit points of his own vehicle, and a fire effect for doing more damage than the hit points of his own vehicle. And lastly, he got the high caliber for dealing the most damage in the game and got it with that last shot, as well as a top gun for getting at least 6 kills. Of course, the last 2 were the KV-13 and the KV-2. His win rate, 6,007, which is high super unicum. Quite a bit more of an effort than the rest of his team put in. Let's have a look at team score. Well, the highest damage was 2,645 hit points. Second highest damage actually went to the AT7, who got 2,021. And the third highest damage went to the Type 62 on his own team, who actually died. He got 1,850. When it came to kills, he had the highest number of those with 6. The next highest scorer only had half as much, and that was the KV-2, who got 3 kills. And 2 kills went to the Type 62, E25 and AMX 12-ton on the enemy team, on his own team rather. And on the enemy team, it was the AT7 and the 5916 who got 2 kills. When it came to base XP, he easily scored the highest in that one, 1,386. As I said, only a couple of points away. In fact, he said 8 experience points away from getting an ace tanker. He looked it up. He almost gutted, you know, that he didn't get it. But yeah, he was that close to getting an ace tanker on it. 1,087 went to the Type 62. And the next highest after that was the M12 on his team, who was actually helping quite a lot because he was landing shells on the enemy that Deathnub was actually spotting, and he got 792 out of this one. Tier 7. It was I think the top tier was tier 7 in this one, so yes, he was top tier, but he had a great game. When it came to details, 19 shots fired, 17 direct hits, 12 penetrations, damage of 2,645 hit points, of which all of it is at close range. He received 6 hits from the enemy, only one of which actually penetrated, 5 non-penetrations, and he blocked damage of 870 hit points in total. He spotted 1 enemy vehicle, damaged 6 of the enemy, killed 6 of the enemy, and 1,538 hit points of damage assistance, or I think that was partially, yes, it was damage assist, because he tracked vehicles which were then hit by his teammates. 45,414 credits for the battle, 22,707 from Holiday Ops, a total of 68,100 121 credits altogether, and after repair and ammunition resupply, he took away a profit of 61,919 credits. He got 25 bonds out of that one, so he must have completed a mission achievement, and 2,079 XP plus 1,040 for holiday ops and 3,119 experience points altogether. So how can you not be enthusiastic about a really good game which has fought well in a decent tank destroyer? And obviously Deathnub had a lot of fun out of that one. I'm sure he's happy with this result. He sent it in only, well, I think it was yesterday. So he's got his replay really quickly. It was the first one out of the hat. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you did enjoy this game, please give it a like. Do subscribe to our channel. Leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm. And of course, please do let other people know about our channel, because you'd be surprised. Many people do not even know that we exist, and we don't actually pay for any promotion, because we put all the revenue from this channel at the moment into supporting the Ukrainian refugees, so that they're helped as much as we can. And we proved that because we've sent the receipts, or posted the receipts, on our channel, so you can actually look in the community tab and see exactly what we've paid out to the refugees and who we sent the money to. Thanks for watching.